If you were looking for the next great business idea to go all in on, this is it. In this video, I will show you the massive opportunity that is just beginning to open. I'll also show you how to easily get funding and small business grants to start these businesses regardless of who you are, your tech skills, or your background. Here's an article on TechCrunch, which talks a little bit about small business grants that are available for AI startups. OpenAI, the San Francisco-based lab behind AI systems like ChatGPT and DALL-E, today launched a new program to provide early-stage AI startups with capital and access to OpenAI tech and resources. Called Converge, it will be financed by the OpenAI Startup Fund. The 10 or so founders chosen for Converge will receive $1 million each and admission to 5 weeks of office hours, workshops, and events with the OpenAI staff, as well as early access to OpenAI models and programming tailored to AI companies. Quote, "We're excited to meet groups across all phases of the seed stage, from pre-idea solo founders to co-founding teams already working on a project." OpenAI writes, "Engineers, designers, researchers, and product builders from all backgrounds, disciplines, and experience levels are encouraged to apply, and prior experience working with AI systems is not required." So that one closed in 2022, but it will be started up again in the future, and hopefully it will even be an annual thing. I'll post an announcement here on my channel when it's launched, but there will likely be many more like this. This is just the beginning of a massive wave that will likely last for decades. Here are some other funds and grants that are available. The Allen Institute for AI has a small accelerator that launched in 2017, which provides up to $500,000 pre-seed investment and up to $450,000 in cloud compute credits. Google Brain founder Andrew Ngo heads up the AI Fund, a $175 million fund to initiate new AI-centered businesses and companies. And Nat Friedman, formerly of GitHub, and Daniel Gross, ex-Apple employee, funds the AI Grant, which provides up to $250,000 for AI-native product startups and $250,000 in cloud credits from Azure. Azure? I think it's Azure. With Converge, OpenAI is no doubt looking to cash in on the increasingly lucrative industry that is AI. AI startup Cohere is said to be negotiating a $200 million round led by Google, while Stability AI, the company supporting the development of generative AI systems, including Stable Diffusion, recently raised $101 million. So money is pouring into the sector. This is like all the companies and money that were built in the early computer days and the early Silicon Valley days. It's all happening again on a bigger scale, and we are all going to watch it happen in front of our eyes. So how do you get prepared for this, and how do you make sure that you stand to make some money from it? Because if 10 years pass and AI is everywhere and you made $0 from this, that's not good. Don't do that. Here's some things that I would start thinking about. First and foremost, stay in the loop. Make sure you're getting the latest news on AI. Mainstream media is pretty useless for this. At least right now, they are just not getting it. They will probably come around, but they will always be a year or two behind. If you're interested in learning more, Lex Friedman is great. He does a lot of interviews on YouTube. He talks to some very high-level AI guys, but it's a bit dry if I'm 100% honest. And a lot of it is more focused on theory and research, but it's very, very good if you're looking for that. I just started a newsletter that covers the latest AI developments, as well as some specific ways that we can use to make ourselves more effective, make more money, AI business ideas, etc. Check out natural20.com, natural20.com, and sign up for the newsletter. There's going to be a link in the description. OpenAI is raising money from Microsoft and then funding those AI companies. There's going to be a lot of money in this space, is what I'm trying to say. But try to find areas like that in your life, areas where you can apply AI to save time and money. What are you doing right now that an AI can do faster, better? I no longer read contracts, for example, like leases, loan documents, etc. I plug it into ChatGPT and ask it to pull out the important bullet points. I ask for a list of any fees that are mentioned. I even asked it if there's any unfair or predatory clauses in there. I pasted an old lease contract in there and asked for a full list of all the fees that I agreed to pay. It spit out a list of 15 fees that were outlined in this 5+ page contract. Some obvious like the regular rent, late fees, bounce check fees, etc. But a few like an inspection fee and a rent renewal notification fee or something like that, those I was not aware of. So my point is, start trying to apply it. Since as this tech develops, AI will eventually touch every part of our lives. One of the most important skills will be just having the vision and creativity to think of ways to apply it. So think about what burdens you can unload onto the AI. It will save you time, money, and it will help you develop real-world AI application skills. Consider if you want to learn to use the AI to code. Now, I don't have a coding background. I have not coded before, really. I was able to output real-life working applications with ChatGPT. They were simple, like I was able to create a little clicking browser game where you click a button and there's like a counter that goes up, and then you can click on other buttons to make stuff happen. It was very simple, but I asked ChatGPT to create a browser game, and then I just explained what I wanted line by line in basic English. It automatically spits out a combination of JavaScript and HTML. It knew when it needed to use one coding language versus another. I asked, how do you run this code that you came up with? It told me to copy that code into a text file, save it as an HTML, and then I could just open it in any browser. I did that and it worked. The code worked on the first try. Then I was able to make changes and additions to it just by telling ChatGPT, add this and that, and then it rewrote the code with the new additions. So you still need some tech knowledge to create all the more advanced stuff. But if you ever wanted to learn to code and just either didn't have the time or the patience to do it, well, right now is a really good time to start because the AI will automate a lot of the tedious, repetitive stuff. And you just have to take the code that it spits out and weave it together into something useful. Coding by hand, I think, will be seen as archaic in 5 to 10 years. My best guess is that it took something that took 4 years of college to learn how to do to something that takes maybe 6 months to get to that same level. And that's on this version of its language model. I believe it's GTP 3.5. The new version, GPT-4, is massively bigger and more complex. So I think its ability to take regular speech and spit out working code is just going to get better and better. If you're selecting which career to go into, like if you're a college student, this might be a really good time to consider how you can align yourself with this new technology. If you're switching careers midlife, like if you sold a business and you're looking for a new challenge, going in this direction can be very lucrative. We are still very early in this wave, so it's hard to know exactly where and what is going to happen, but the number one advice that I can give you is to run towards this. Don't stay still. Start looking at ways to position yourself to take advantage of this. Don't worry about your tech skills. There will be a lot of opportunities for all levels of tech. Don't worry about the capital needed between the business grants that will be handed out and the various funding opportunities. If you have a solid idea, then you will likely be able to get the money to try turning that into reality. Things are about to start moving much, much faster. Check out the newsletter in the description. My name is Wes Roth. Don't miss this one. This is the big one.